How is everyone? Just gonna give it another few minutes and then we'll start. Jai Shri Ram. Welcome. Welcome to session 9 of the Ramayana, which is the story of Lord Ram. We've been doing this for a while now, and we've completed the first set, which is the Ayodhya Kanda. And today we'll be starting with the next set, which is the Ayodhya Kanda. Now, for those who don't have any background, Ramayana is the story of Lord Ram. And it's an epic story. It is a weaving in a weaving in a weaving. And it has lots of little nuggets. And so storytelling allows us to go to places to find parallels and learn the lessons, if we will, through other examples, other people, and take what we will for our own growth and evolution. And that's where the power of storytelling comes in. So, my name is Shrishti Noor. I am based in Melbourne, Australia, but it doesn't really matter where you are in the world. As I always say, if the story is meant to find you, it will. And this cuts across all sorts of constructs, religious divides, thoughts, belief systems, cultural, constraints. So my invitation to you is to simply allow the story to move through you, and keep it simple. Still a story, and the magic will be woven. We don't force the magic, it happens on its own. Now, one prerequisite for this is to bring your favorite animal along. Like I have quite a few here, but my regular is Rocky. And the idea is to find harmony, go back to a place in childhood maybe, where anything was possible, and sort of reignite that innocence again. So, welcome. Now, if you are joining us now, we are on session 9. Readings before session 5 can be requested, and you can PM me. I have those recordings, but they are not on live Facebook. In terms of expectations, have none. Enjoy the ride, listen to the story, and may this reading bring many blessings to you, your loved ones, and Jai Shri Ram. So let's begin. So the structure of this weaving usually follows the following format. I will open the space, and by that I mean we have people who are joining us across different timelines across the globe, and that may mean there is intention to be present, and some beings may not be third dimensional, but all are welcome in the sacred circle of life. And so I open the space, calling in anyone, any being, any sentient being across the cosmos that wishes to be present. And we have a sacred fire here as witness, as one of the elements. And I therefore call them in uh, and do the reading. I will give you little nuggets here and there, and try and explain a few things, just to help put it in context. And then I will close the space and send back those who came. And that will finish the session. So I hope you have a wonderful time tonight. Get your pillow out, get your favorite stuffed animal, your favorite pet. I have quite a few here. I have a few cats and a very old whippet. So they weave in and out of the reading, and that's just the way it's meant to work. So Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Ram. Okay, so let's open the space now. I open the space and honor the sacred land, Mother Earth Gaia, on which I sit. Father Sky, Grandfather Sun, Grandmother Moon. I honor, acknowledge the upper and lower worlds and the middle worlds, the four directions, the elements, the fire, sacred fire, water that remembers, the wind that carries my prayers to all those who need it, the ether, land. I honor, acknowledge, and pay my respects to my ancestors, past, present, and future, all sentient beings, all kings and kingdoms, kingdoms of water, kingdoms of the air, kingdom of the land, the crystal kingdom, the mineral kingdom, all the little kingdoms that are beyond my awareness, all sentient beings, all keepers, all shamans, all teachers. I honor them, acknowledge them, pay my respects to them. I honor you, you who is listening to me right now. Doesn't matter what point in space and time. I honor you and your loved ones and your intention for being here in this point in space and time. I wish to honor, acknowledge, and pay respects to the grandmothers and the grandfathers, the elders that walked this land, that passed on the wisdom, that wrote in the ancient sacred texts. I wish to honor, acknowledge, and pay my respects to the Ascended Masters, the Intergalactic Council and Federation of Light, The cosmos, the fabric of space and time itself, even forces that may not be good are welcome, but with disarmed attendance only, as this space is under the protection of the great Lalita Mahatripura Sundari, the creatrix, and her beloved Lord Shiva. I honor, acknowledge, and pay respects to all exiled parts, forgotten parts, those who are not remembered. If they wish to be present, they are welcome in the sacred circle of life. I honor all animals, all beings that create this heaven on earth and live in harmony with us. I wish to honor, acknowledge, and pay respects to anyone else that I may have forgotten, and ask that blessings and pure love reach you and give you whatever it is that you need in this point in space and time. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here, for expressing the intention to hear the sacred text. Thank you. And finally, I wish to honor, acknowledge, and pay respects to consciousness, the cosmos, and awareness, known and unknown, seen and unseen, and anything else that has not been included or spoken that wishes to be present is invited with love and will depart also with love, for only love is present when we read the Ramayana. So welcome. Okay, how are we doing on time? Sorry, I've just got few dramas. Okay, I'm just getting a few people saying they can't access, so I'm hoping that is fixed soon. Okay. Just gonna type here, just make sure everyone is here. Okay, excellent. We have our regular Mona Lisa Biswas attending. Hi, Mona. And let's start. So, as I said last time, we finished a big section of the Ramayana, which is the Ayodhya Kanda. And this chapter finished with Lord Ram and Sita enjoying marital bliss, coming together, and becoming one in marriage. So, the whole getting there, going to the forest, stringing the bow, that was very, very heavy, and it was Lord Shiva's bow, and Shiva is everywhere in these readings. But the whole journey and how it came about and how they met and how it was meant to be um, was covered until the last reading. So now we are starting with the Ayodhya Kanda. Bharata and Shatrughan remained with their maternal uncle Yudhajit for some time, being well entertained by him. Meanwhile, at Ayodhya, Ram became the pet son of Maharaja Dashrath and the beloved of all citizens. Now, Lord Ram was Lord Vishnu himself, and we know that. I've covered this. For those who don't know and are not coming from an Indian background, The trilogy of the Lords. Brahma is the creator, Vishnu is the preserver, and Shiva is known as the destroyer. Obviously, it gets a lot more complicated, but the areas of remit broadly are these. So, Lord Rama was Lord Vishnu himself, incarnated within human society for the purpose of killing the wicked Ravana. So, in the invite today, the picture that you see is the demon king Ravana holding Sita in his arms. As the supreme personality of Godhead, Lord Rama exhibited himself as the reservoir of all good qualities. Rama's beautiful bodily features provided all who viewed him with the full satisfaction of his eyes, of their eyes. Rama played the part of a courageous and heroic Kshatriya. Now, those who don't know, Kshatriya is a class of warriors going back in the ancient times. Okay, so you have the Brahmanas, which are the priests, and the Kshatriyas are the warriors. So just a little bit there to put things in perspective. Yet, he was self-controlled, self-satisfied, without malice, and gentle in word and deed. Rama did not take offense when criticized by others, and was pleased by even the smallest show of kindness. He was forgiving and always humble about his own position. Rama only embraced the wisdom and association of persons who were pious and of superior wisdom. He was considerate and always the first to welcome guests. Rama firmly adhered to truth and honored the Brahmanas. Now, like I said before, Brahmanas are the priests. He loved the citizens and they loved him. Okay. So you can see here that his qualities are extremely important, and we can learn so much when you go into the kind of person that he was. How did he carry himself? How did he conduct himself? And he was in a mortal form. And these becoming like him is quite possible, but it requires a lot of discipline. It requires you to be constantly aware of what you're thinking, what you're doing. The smallest thing, every decision point, and slowly, we can evolve into the perfect, highest potential of the human, which is sort of embodied in the character of Lord Ram. Okay. Rama always acted according to religious principles and was learned in all the scriptures. He epitomized youthful vigor and was a mature judge of character. Rama was always diligent in punishing wrongdoers and rewarding the virtuous. As a horseman and wielder of the bow, Rama excelled all others, and he was the greatest chariot warrior. Indeed, Rama was the lord of the three worlds and the controller of eternal time. He was unconquerable even by the greatest demigods and demons. Now, for those who've been on the journey so far, he's been through a bit of a rough patch, but he's held himself. He's held himself despite the challenges, and everyone has them in this age. We are in the Kali Yuga. So you sort of begin to see that everyone and the mortal form comes with these earthly challenges, if you like. But it is how you respond to the challenges that makes you who you are. And you really see that. So I invite you to just, go there. Go there. Really see what gifts does the story bring for you? And your heart will know that. It always does. Maharaja Dashrath had ruled his kingdom for 60,000 years. Now, having grown old and fatigued, he finally desired to retire from his royal duties and prepare himself for an exalted destination after quitting his body. And so, what that means is preparation for, you know, passing on. Wasn't considered such a, end of the world sort of thing. It was just moving on to another journey. So it was managed very gracefully, the process, is what I'm trying to say. However, Maharaja Dashrath began to see various omens foreboding evil. Thus, he anxiously desired to install Ram as the heir, apparently as quickly as possible. So, for this purpose, Maharaja Dashrath called a meeting of his ministers, prominent citizens, and subordinate kings. However, in his haste, Maharaja Dashrath did not formally invite King Janaka or Kekaya, feeling confident of their support. So, I'm just going to invite you to just hone in here. Thereafter, when all was assembled, Maharaja Dashrath announced, I have grown old. I now desire to hand the royal throne over to my eldest son, Rama, who has reached the age of 27. It is now the sacred month of Chaitra, and tomorrow the auspicious constellation Pusya will be ascending. Therefore, with your permission, I will direct that the ceremonies for installing Rama as the heir apparently begin tomorrow. Okay. So the king's tired, he wants to move on, make arrangements. He goes and announces, he's getting a few omens, he's getting a bit stressed about it, and makes this big announcement. The assembled ministers, kings, and citizens all applauded Dashrath's proposal. They then glorified Rama's incomparable virtues, equating him with Lord Vishnu himself. Thus, Maharaja Dashrath was both pleased and relieved. Just pause for a minute here. He's made his arrangements. Everyone's okay with it. Everyone's supporting it. Things are looking good. So far, so far. After everyone departed, he requested Vasisht Muni, the sage, to immediately begin preparations for the installation ceremony. So he didn't want to waste any time, and he told his sage to make the appropriate arrangements. Vasisht then ordered the chief minister Sumantra to arrange for the city to be gloriously decorated and make all other preparations so that ceremonies could start early the next day. Maharaja Dashrath then summoned Rama to the royal assembly. Okay, how are we doing? Just going to look at the time. Okay, we're doing all right. Soon thereafter, Rama entered the royal assembly and came before his father. Approaching him with folded hands, Rama fell flat on his feet, offering his respects. So it is a form of salutations for those who don't know. Um, you sort of prostrate on the floor. There are various ways you can do it, but this particular one is lie down on the floor, prostrated with your hands above your head. So you're surrendering. There can be no bigger surrender. Uh, with complete humility, you surrender. And so that's what the gesture means. Maharaja Dashrath then picked up his son and after tightly embracing him said, "My dear Rama, I have grown old and weary. I feel it is now time for me to retire. I have sufficiently enjoyed all manner of royal opulences. I have performed innumerable sacrifices and I have distributed huge amounts of wealth to the Brahmins. Now, it was considered very good in terms of clearing your karma and doing the proper ceremonies um, to look after the priests and really honor them. That was a very important part of the practices at that time, and even now, if you go to India, you will see that in certain places. You, Rama, and so the king spoke. You You are my eldest and most favorite son. Likewise, all the ministers and citizens love you dearly. Thereafter, therefore, I have arranged that tomorrow you will be installed as the heir apparent to the royal throne." Hearing this, some of Rama's friends ran to Mother Kaushalya, hoping to be the first to deliver the wonderful news to her. Upon hearing the news, she became overjoyed and gave the bearers of the good tidings gold, jewels, and cows in charity. Thereafter, when Rama returned to his own palace, crowds of cheering citizens greeted him along the way. So the news is public. It's been done. The intention is set. The king has spoken. Everyone's happy. The citizens are happy. And Ayodhya was a beautiful place. And we see that earlier in the story as well. Um, just in terms of how the citizens loved the king and they were looked after, just the whole relationship. It was like a family and, very different from what you see now. Of course, times have changed and it's a different age, but lot, there's a lot there if you really wanted to look at it. So, thereafter, when Ram returned to his own palace, crowds of cheering citizens greeted him, and meanwhile Maharaja Dashrath entered his inner apartments to lay down for some rest. Just as the king was drifting off to sleep, however, he experienced a recurring ominous dream. Waking with a start, he immediately sent Sumantra to summon Rama. The king felt apprehensive that there might be some obstruction to his son's planned installation. So, he's getting some feedback. He's getting these signs. He's getting a bit worried. And he calls for his son. He wants to have a chat. Hearing that his father had again called him, Rama also felt a degree of apprehension. Mhm. Making toward his father's palace with haste, Rama entered his father's room, inquiring what was needed of him. How are you going there, Rocky? Hope you're going good wherever you are and you haven't drifted away yet. Dashrath embraced Rama and said, "My dear Ram, all of my desires in life have been fulfilled, except to see you installed on the throne. Unfortunately, due to the bad influence of Sun, Mars, and Rahu, which is a planet, this is a very bad astrological period for me." So, for those who are not aware, in India, a lot of things are done, even today, but at that time, it was modus operandi, if you like. Looking at the astrological charts, and when was the best time, and you'd sort of look at the whole system in entirety before making any big decisions. And that's why you had advisors and priests, and the sun and the moon, and everything was observed and taken into consideration um, at the time of big decisions, and rightly so. Moreover, I have been experiencing disturbing dreams, prompting me to think that a great calamity awaits me. Therefore, I'm eager to expedite matters. I want the installation ceremonies to begin immediately, even without the presence of your brothers, Bharat and Shatrughan. You and Sita should fast tonight for purification, and then tomorrow, early in the morning, prepare yourself for the installation. So, he's starting to get quite stressed. He doesn't want to wait, and he says, let's just get on with it. And in preparation, whenever we do sacred ceremonies in India, it's customary to fast. Fasting is a form of purification. And so this is why the king says and suggests and invites Lord Ram and his wife Sita, his beloved Sita, to fast so they can get the ball rolling, if you like. Maharaja Dashrath was constantly haunted by the remembrance of a promise he had once made to King Kekaya at the time of his marriage to his daughter, Kekayi. Dashrath had clearly indicated to his father-in-law that it would be Kekayi's son who would inherit the royal throne. Now, Dashrath considered that the minds of men are fickle and inconsistent, especially in the face of such allurements as power and prestige. For this reason, Maharaja Dashrath was most anxious to install Rama as the heir apparent before Bharata's return. So, a very, very important point in the story, point to be noted, is this promise that the king had made that it would be Kekayi's son who would take the throne. And so the king assumes, time has passed and people forget, and I've got all this power and it's not that important. Same sort of things, when we make promises now. We could have made a promise 10 years ago. But then it comes back to, what do you honor? Do you honor your word? And that's even important this day and age. We respect the people who honor their word. But we also find those who don't keep them. And that's fine as well. It is a choice. It is karma. And it is the culmination of all your doings and your own level of consciousness, if you like, and your karma, and what you carry and bring with you and your baggage. So, let's go on. Rama returned to his palace to inform Sita of the arrangements for the following day. Not finding her there, however, Rama went to the residence of his mother. When Rama entered Kaushalya's room, he saw her sitting with half-closed eyes and suspended breath, silently praying to her household deity, Lord Narayan, for Rama's good fortune. Okay, just gonna make a note. Kaushalya, who was being attended by Lakshman, and Lakshman is Lord Ram's brother, and Sumitra, got up to greet her son, and Rama addressed her, saying, "O mother, father wishes to install me as the heir apparent to the royal throne." With tears in her eyes, Kaushalya replied, "My austerities have surely not been in vain. May you and Sita live long and happily together." Smiling, Rama turned to his brother Lakshman and said, "My dear brother, you must rule the kingdom along with me, for you are just like my second self." So we know in the story that the two brothers are inseparable. It is beautiful. The bond that they share, the length to which they care for one another, and how they show it through action. There's less talk, okay? And you see that. There's less talk. In this day and age, it's all about, but here, actions speak louder than words. Very less is spoken. And the meaning is through the actions. They speak for themselves. So, a gold nugget there too. Smiling, Rama turned to his brother Lakshman and said, "My dear brother, you must rule the kingdom. Indeed, I could not even think of finding happiness in royal luxury or even life itself without you." How beautiful. You don't see that now. You don't see that now in siblings. There is a rival, you have rivalries and who's better than the other, and competition. Competition, not collaboration or cooperation, has become the theme now in this Kali Yuga. So interesting to see what real, authentic, loving, unconditional loving relationships were like at that time. And so what can we take from there and bring it into this point in space and time is a question I'd like to leave you with. Thereafter, Rama returned to his palace in a jubilant mood. Sita and Rama worshipped Lord Narayana together and laid down to take rest for the night. Meanwhile, within the city, all the citizens were merrily engaged in preparing for the coming festivities. All the streets in Ayodhya were washed with perfumed water and scattered with fragrant flowers. Brilliant, colorful lights burned in every little house and meeting place, turning night into day. So it's beautiful. It's beautiful. The whole kingdom is celebrating. It's a big deal. The noisy crowd swelled like waves of the sea, and numerous elephants, horses, and camels appeared to be like large aquatic animals within the ocean. At the time of Kekai's marriage to Maharaja Dashrath, her father, Aswapati, the king of Kekaya, had given her a hunchback maid servant named Manthara. Manthara was actually an apsara. Now, what's an apsara? We've gone over this. Um, Sort of like fairies. deputed by demigods to appear on the earth to assist in the killing of Ravana. Okay, now I might just leave that there. So that concludes today's reading. We've gone a bit slow, but we are in no rush. The story continues and continues and continues, and the pace is dictated by spirit. We simply show up, we are present, and whenever we're meant to be, and we'll get what we need. That is perfect for where we are in terms of our evolution in space and time, in the cosmos itself. So that concludes today's reading. We've started this new chapter, and we found out that the king's getting these omens. He wants to install Ram to the throne, yet he's torn because of this promise he's made many years ago, and he's not really honoring that, and he's starting to get all these dreams. And then finally we finish with this little bit of information about the maid service mantra. Okay, so that's a significant milestone, if you like. Things are getting there. Okay, beautiful. So I'm just going to close the space and send everyone else back. Now, one thing I did forget to mention is this reading has a special request for Parag Tole and Priyatha, who are going through a difficult time right now. And so my intention is that all blessings from this reading also reach the two. All right, so we'll close the space. I give thanks, honor, and acknowledge all those who were present today for this reading. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here, for showing up with your beautiful heart. I honor you, I acknowledge you, and I send you back with love and the blessings and the gifts that the story brings to you. May the blessings not only touch you, but touch everyone that you come in contact with. And may the web of light weave as you touch and as you are touched by the story. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I send everyone back with love. No one is permitted to stay. And may you receive everything that you came for. May you be blessed. May your loved ones be blessed. And may you soul tonight. May you soul tonight. Jai Shri Ram. Jai Shri Ram. And Jai Shri Ram from Rocky. Now, for those who are interested, I work with wild birds. So I have Maximus and Luna that are my wild king cocky pairs that also come for the readings, different readings. And finally, I'd just like to finish with a quick update that our next reading will be same time, same place on Monday, the 19th of October. And we'll continue with the Ayodhya Kanda and see where that takes us. Okay. All right, Rocky. I think Rocky's done. And thank you. Thank you for attending, and I'll see you next time. Jai Shri Ram.